Hey, what's going on? Joe Coffey here for PremierGuitar.com. We're at the LA Amp Show 2008, checking out some cool stuff from Eventide. I've got Garrett with me here. Garrett, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, it's all good. You're going to demo some cool stuff for us here today. I see you've got the time factor and the mod factor.
That's right. Let me go through this. Let me start with the time factor. I'm not sure if you can get in on these dials. Some people are intimidated by all these dials, but really it's easy to use. It's very simple. You've got delay mix, delay time A, delay time B, feedback A, feedback B. The top rows is your basic controls that most people are familiar with. So let's just go to something like a vintage delay here.
And let me pause you for a second, just so everybody knows. You're running this through stereo. You've got two Reeves Custom 12s.
That's right.
We're running through our 57 here, kind of dead center, trying to get it both. You don't really get the stereo effect,
Right,
but we'll do the best we can here. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the thing that's cool about this is that on each, you've got, I'm just picking a vintage delay here to start with. You've got the traditional things, like I said, delay time B, feedback A, feedback B. But what you've got on the bottom four knobs changes depending on which mode you're in. And for example, in this case, you've got vintage delay. A lot of the old vintage delays had lower bit values, so you can actually get that sort of grungy bit sound by just changing the bit value here compared to, this is pretty much full resolution. And then if you want to crank that down, you can get it to be funkier, just like the old time units were. Now the next dial over here is delay mod, and you've got a speed knob here, so you can actually introduce sort of the sort of warbling that you got out of the vintage delays. And of course you can make the delays much longer if you like. And you can hear, I don't know if you can hear this on the tape, but it's actually set up so that it all the repeats bounce out of B, which is the second cabinet here.
And you can control that however you want.
Right. Now I focused on vintage delay here just as an example, but you also have digital delay. The effects on, or the knobs on the top, pretty much through all of these stay the same, but the bottom, as I said, they change. Here you've got delay mod. This allows you to, this is a filter so that you've got change the tone here. There's tape echo, which actually allows you to introduce wow and flutter on these knobs here. You've got wow and flutter. Now mod delay, I'm going through these really quick, and of course each of these has a tremendous number of features. It's a very deep machine. On the other hand, it's very easy to use because you seldom have to go into the menus underneath. You only have to go into the menus, which you use doing a button here, to work with some of the more advanced features. For example, it has full MIDI functionality. It can take a time code off of MIDI as you're playing, so if you do a lot of recording, you've got line in, line out. Those are switches on the back. But the main point is that everything that you need to change the sound is right here with the dials. So it's not as intimidating as it looks.
What about a price point on the time factor?
The suggested retail price is $500. I believe the street price is around $400. I think that's what I've seen.
Okay, very cool. Want to show us something else before we move on to the mod factor?
Let me just show one other feature. I will say this has duct delay, it has band delay, filter pong, multi-tap delay, and reverse. It's even a backwards delay. So we get a little bit of that going. But the other thing that it has, you can hear some of the backward effect. I know you don't have a lot of time here, so I'm rushing through these features. But the last thing that's important to get to is that it's a looper. It does have a looper effect. Let me move to that. So that you can...
Now, Eventide is known for throwing extra parameters on top of familiar effects. So, with the looper, what other parameters do you have within there?
Well, what you have is, first of all, you can dial in the start of the loop. Obviously, I don't have this on the floor, so I didn't start it very accurately. So you can trim off the front of the loop, make it a little bit shorter. You can also get to that's what I wanted to get to, which is after you've recorded this, you can change the speed of it. You can double it up so that it's twice as fast. Obviously, this isn't a very good sounding example, but that is one of the parameters that you're talking about that Eventide typically puts in.
Very cool.
Slower.
So it's a straight up octave multiple, so you're still in tune.
Yeah, right. But there is also a vary speed, so you can actually make it sort of ugly if you want.
Okay. Cool. If people want to find out more, where can they go online?
Eventide.com.
Cool. All right, Garrett, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
I'm Joe Coffey. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.